Hello everyone, welcome back for another video. Today I'm excited to talk about one of my favorite ways to propagate plants, and that is air layering. If you've never heard of air layering is a propagation method where you try to grow roots while it's still attached to the main plant. I'll talk about everything about it today, why I love it, the pros and cons, step-by-steps on how to do air layering. First and foremost, I think air layering is just my preferred method. I am not a huge fan of water propagation, or actually I'm not a huge fan of propagating my plants often. I don't like having a bunch of random cuttings everywhere. I tend to forget them and just make a huge mess. So I usually air layer a plant if I really need to, like for this melanochrysum. The reason why I tried to air layer this is because it looks bare at the bottom. So what I was gonna do is just chop it and then replant it so that it grows it's kind of like starting over. I didn't think it was gonna grow this huge of a leaf, so I might just keep it for a while until I decide what I'm gonna do yet. This is my melanochrysum's newest leaf. This is the older leaf. It's still holding on the older leaf, which is pretty amazing. And this is what I'm currently air layering. You can see like the roots growing already. So yeah, when I'm ready to cut, I was just chop here, and then I can plant it directly into the soil. But yeah, this is my melanochrysum. All right, now let's talk about why I love air layering. Okay, number one is high success rate. One of the main reasons why I love air layering is its success rate. Since the cutting, like this part, is still attached to the main plant, it's still getting nutrients and water from the main plant as it grows roots. This gives it a higher chance of survival versus when you're doing a water propagation. So when you do water propagation, so let's say if I cut here and then put it in water, you risk the chance of it rotting. I mean, it doesn't happen all the time. It really depends on the condition and depends on the plant. But in this method, the part that you're gonna cut, it's still attached to the main plant. It's still getting nutrients when you water and you feed your main plant as it start to develop your roots. Number two, it minimizes stress for the plant. Because the plant isn't fully separated to the main plant until it's developed or established an actual root system, it doesn't go through the same shock as a water propagation might. This means like a healthier plant overall. So again, if you do a water cuttings, it usually takes a few weeks for it to grow roots. And then when you transfer that cutting to arid mix or moss or pond, the plant might still suffer a little bit of a shock. Like this way, you're waiting for it to be fully established until you separate it into its own plant. Yeah, it gives it a higher chance of survival. Okay, number three, I love using air layering on my bigger and maybe more expensive plants or rare plants. Instead of risking and losing the entire plant on propagating, I can propagate safely and grow a second plant without stressing over killing it. Number four, faster growth post-propagation. Plants that are propagated through air layering tend to grow faster because it's already had its own root system when you separate them from the main plant. Since the root is already established, it's gonna have less time to adjust or less of a shock when you plant it to its separate pot. Instead of focusing on growing roots, it can use its energy to grow more leaves instead. Like I said in the beginning, this is a preference for me because it's less messy and less things to maintain. You're pretty much just taking care of one plant the whole time. You're just watering the same plant while you're growing this cutting. Instead of having multiple cuttings and multiple propagations that you have to tend to, this way you're focusing on just this one plant, making sure they're thriving and just let it do its own work. And that's exactly what this melanochrysum's been doing. It's ready to be repotted. It has tons of roots. If I separate it and plant it to a different pot, that means I have to take care of two melanochrysum now. Well, actually I have another one, sorry, three melanochrysum. So until I'm ready, I don't know yet what I'm gonna do, and I still need to make a moss bowl. I will eventually and kind of start over so that I'll have tons of long leaves. But yeah, I've been wanting to grow a large long leaf melanochrysum like this. Like I tried so many times, like I bought different kinds of melanochrysum. They're just hard to like size up. Even when they're climbing on a moss bowl, like it's taking forever for it to like size up. I'm not sure if it's like my growing condition right now, because they're getting grow light instead of like natural light. Plant used to grow bigger leaves when they were getting like light from the sun. So I don't know if that's the case, but this one is definitely the biggest leaf I've ever grown. So this is my other melanochrysum. There's 2 plants in there. This is definitely rooted. I've shown this in my other videos, and then I don't know if you can see the moss bowl, like there's like tons of roots in there. Like it's really rooted on the moss bowls. Like it's still not sizing up properly. Like this is like probably the biggest leaf, this one, and the new, well, this one's still not hardening, but it's not as big as I would like to. And then I don't know if you can compare it to the stems are a lot thinner. Like let me show you how, like look at this stem. I love melanochrysum. Melanochrysum and glorious is probably my favorite out of all the philodendron, the climbing philodendrons. Like I used to have a splendid, I used to have a majestic, and I just kept the glorious and the melanochrysum because, I mean, look at that. Just crazy. Like with this one, like if I make a cutting, there's tons of roots to pull from. It can go straight to like a like arid mix, but it would be like a smaller pot. That would be like a lot of roots. So that's what usually happens is like when I make a cutting. So let's say if I cut this right now and let it callus for 24 hours and put it in water. Growing roots usually takes forever. The next growth will come out like super small. It's like you're starting over. I think that's what I've been doing wrong with the melanochrysum before, because like I tried so many times. Like this is probably maybe my 5th melanochrysum. Because I've been wanting to grow like a large leaf like this. Finally got a large leaf melanochrysum, and then I just bought one because it's taking forever to grow one. So I just bought one. What are the cons and limitations with air layering? Actually, there's not a lot. Maybe some plants are not suitable for air layering. So yeah, it's not suitable for a lot of plants. Crawling philodendrons, maybe it'll be harder to air layer just because it'll be harder to wrap the node because it's so close to the soil. But honestly, it's literally air laying itself. As it crawls, it shoots like roots into the soil. So you can literally just cut it and it'll have its own root system for each node. And maybe another limitation is that you still have to watch out for your condition. You don't want it to be like too wet. You don't want to leave it like super dry all the time. Especially if your air layering method does not have a drainage. It's not wet all the time because you can still develop root rot when it's like always wet. So you still gotta watch out for a little bit, but honestly, not a lot of cons and limitations, to be honest. Any climbing plants are a good candidate for air layering because they shoot like these aerial roots. This is my Monstera albo. Like I don't think I can extend the moss pool. So when it reaches the top of the moss pool, I'm gonna start air layering. All right, so like ZZ plant, like there's no way to like air layer a ZZ plant. So yeah, this is one of the plants that you probably can't air layer. And honestly, you don't need to. It shoots babies like left and right, so there's no need to air layer this. All right, now let me show you how to properly air layer. First, you want to pick a plant that's already established and actively growing. Then you're gonna find a node. So this one has plenty of nodes, so I have plenty to choose from. And then you want to get a clear plastic pot. And I'm talking about like the really flimsy one. These are cheap from Amazon, so you can just get a lot of these. It comes in different sizes. And then you're just gonna cut on one side so that you can open it. And then you're gonna make a hole here and cut this part. So yeah, so you're just gonna cut like this. It doesn't have to be pretty because you're gonna tape it too. Maybe use a better scissors. Yeah, and then when you get here, just make a circle. So this is how you want it. So there's the hole for the stem to go through, and this is so you can open it and put it on the stem of the plant. All right, so we have our node here. I picked this node. There's a little growth point here. So if I want to propagate this and cut here, it can activate this growth point. So you can add a rooting hormone. I usually don't use it, but you can use a rooting hormone. And then you want to just wrap your plastic pot around the node. So you just want to do it like that. You just want to make sure the node will be inside the pot. And then you're just going to tape this and secure it. You can use any tape, but a clear one probably better so you can still see it. Just like that. And it doesn't have to be like super secure because obviously you still want it to drain. All right, so now that we have our node, we have our plastic cup. And the next step is you're just gonna fill this with whatever medium you wanna use. I don't like using sphagnum moss. I hate rooting plants on sphagnum moss. Find it's hard to transition from when they're rooting in moss and I transplant them to a arid mix. I find that the plant usually don't respond well. So yeah, I don't like using moss in propagating. Plus I hate dealing with moss when like removing the moss from the roots. So I just stopped. So I usually just use straight up arid mix. So that way it'll be an easier transition for the plant. So yeah, you're just gonna fill this up with my arid mix. But yeah, so you just wanna fill this up. And then we're gonna go ahead and water. There. And I would just leave it here until it drains all the excess water. All right, let me show you another way, and I still consider this as air layering, except you don't have to wrap it in sphagnum moss or arid mix like we just did with the melanochrysum. You can only do this with like certain plants, climbing plants. Most philodendrons monsteras that are climbing or crawling, these are pretty good candidate. So this is when you cut the plant while it's still attached to the main plant. So let's say like what I did with this baby monstera albo. So there's like plenty of aerial roots that has like grown into the soil, and then I just made the cut here, and then I just left it there because I knew there's like a big root digging down into the soil. It has its own root system, so I made the cut there and I just left it there for a few weeks, and then so the bottom cut, which is this part, now is growing this tiny new leaf. So I practically have two plants in here now. All I did was cut it like a few weeks ago and just like leave it there. And then the top cutting, this one will eventually grow another leaf here. And I did that also with this Monstera aurea here. And then now there's two plants that are growing, so you can see it. I'm still waiting on the growth point because I cut it there. But yeah, there's two plants in there now. I think this is the growth point. It's not active yet, or it's still I still see it, so it's still leafless. But yeah, there's two plants in there. And also this Monstera mint, I did the exact same thing. Like obviously this is really rooted, so I cut it here, and then now you can see there's a new growth point here, and I'm just waiting for this top cutting to shoot another leaf. Yeah, so this is my Monstera mint. I just air layered it, or I cut it. This is a really good way to propagate your plants. So this is my Broadmark's flame. I haven't cut this one yet, but this would be a really good candidate if I decide to cut it. Obviously, I'm not gonna. but this is a good way to show. So this aerial root, it's this whole thing. So yeah, so it's probably like growing its own root system. So if I decide to cut that part, so like if I cut here and here, this will have its own root system, so it'll be easy to propagate. So like this part, the top cutting, when it gets a little longer, I'm gonna like lead it into the soil so that it will grow its own root system too. Yeah, so I'm not planning on cutting this, but I just want to show like how you would pick a plant if you want to how easy it is to propagate these plants. All right, so here is my Monstera albo that I've cut and propagate while it's still in the pot. So I think I'm gonna repot it today. All right, the tricky part now is trying to separate this two. So I'm just gonna I'll try my best. So I'm just gently pulling. Shoot, I damaged a little bit of rope, but it's okay. I already took a lot, so I think it'll be fine. Because the bottom part is getting so root bound, so it's harder to so it just feels tighter. Here is my top cutting. It's a little droopy right now because I didn't water. And here's the roots. So you can see like, so all of these roots just came from this one aerial root. This will be ready for its own pot. And I think I'm just gonna keep it the same pot. Now I have two baby Monstera albo. I made the cut a few weeks ago and just forgot about it. Risk of it declining is very, very low since it's already established. So that's it for air layering. Like I said, it's one of my favorite methods to propagate plants. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you're thinking about air layering, do it. I highly recommend it. It's such a fun way to propagate your plants without risking losing or killing the cutting. One good thing about this hobby is like there's so many ways to propagate, and you just have to find one that works for you. This is definitely what works for me, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.